state is starting a trend and other states are starting to follow. I'm Ashley Fullerton, and find out how this law is impacting rescue animals.
Flu season may be at its annual peak, but experts say it isn't too late to get your flu shot. I'm Madison Poya, and I have that story next.
Wow, Netflix just raised their prices? I'm Taylor Cleveland. Find out how subscribers feel about this and why Netflix did it.
Buckle up with us, because temperatures dropping could mean problems coming your way.
Bulldog Baseball is right around the corner. I'm Cody West. What fans can expect out of new Dude Noble this season.
Education with a price. I'm Sarah Massey, and learn what's a possibility for Mississippi educators.
More money in teachers' pockets. Welcome to Take 30 News. I'm Maggie Thomas.
And I'm Megan Terry. Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant announced that he wants taxpayers to give Mississippi educators a raise. Take 30's Sarah Massey has the story.
On January 15th, Governor Phil Bryant made his last State of the State address. In my hand, I have the topics that he had covered. Some of those topics include his accomplishments, such as unemployment rates decreasing and high school graduation rates increasing. But he calls out a specific call to action for lawmakers to increase teachers' pay. Back in 2014, the Mississippi government passed a $100 million teacher pay raise, and Governor Bryant wants to pass a second one within the next 5 years. In the next 2 years, Governor Bryant plans to raise teachers' salaries by 3%. The average Mississippi educator makes about $45,000, whereas a recent college graduate makes about $35,000. This will add an additional $790 to teachers' salaries before. A Mississippi teacher explained to me how important the pay raise is, especially since teachers typically pay for their own supplies. The pay raise is just a proposal at this point. However, there's a Facebook page in support of the pay raise. It already has 39,000 followers and is growing by the day. Maggie?
Thank you, Sarah. It was a double murder that sent shockwaves through our area and was considered a cold case for decades. But there's a major crack in the case. Now the national media have eyes on Starkville. CBS's hit TV show 48 Hours recently told the story of the Labor Day murders that took place in Starkville. On September 3, 1990, Betty Jones and Catherine Krigler were brutally attacked inside Krigler's home. Jones was killed on the scene, and Krigler later died from injuries she sustained that night. After nearly 30 years of wondering who committed these crimes, the Starkville Police Department recently charged and arrested Michael Devon. Last Saturday, 48 Hours aired an episode about the investigation and what led to Devon's arrest. Jason Jones, the step-grandson of Betty Jones and the producer of the podcast Knock Knock, investigated this once-cold case on his podcast.
I just thought that they handled it with so much grace and dignity, and it was neat to see professionals tell a story. I mean, I've always said that I'm just an amateur podcaster that tried to do my best to tell Betty and Catherine's story, and then they did it in a way that was world class, and we're, as a family, we're so grateful.
Prosecutors are presenting the case against Devon to the Oktibbeha County Grand Jury, and a decision to indict will then be made. On Tuesday, 2 suspects were charged for vandalizing the bully statue located in the junction at Mississippi State. Police say Timothy Yeldell and Mathis Tillinghast spray-painted the date 11/17 and Woo Pig on the statue on September 8, 2018. Over $1,000 were spent to remove the graffiti. Police say Tillinghast was arrested for the crime on December 22, 2018, and Yeldell turned himself in to the Oktibbeha County Jail last Thursday after a warrant was issued for his arrest. Tillinghast will appear in court on January 22nd, and Yeldell will appear in court in February. If convicted, they could face up to 5 years in prison and pay up to $10,000 in fines.
For many of us, our furry friends are like family, but others try to cash in on cats and dogs, and they're not always humane towards the animals that they breed. As Take 30's Ashley Fullerton explains, that's why one state is changing the way breeders do business, and that could have a ripple effect that we can see here at home.
Lexi Reynolds has dedicated her life to taking care of dogs by working at the Shaggy Hound. She has seen a lot of purebred dogs in her lifetime, but that could all change if a law from California makes its way to Mississippi. California recently became the first state in the nation to ban pet stores from selling dogs, cats, and rabbits unless they come from a shelter or a rescue group. Reynolds hopes that Mississippi would start to consider taking the same measures.
I agree with it. I think we have a lot of dogs that are being bred and overbred, and that leads to the overpopulation of, dogs on the streets and whatnot. So I agree with that. It's going to give those dogs that could possibly live on the streets a chance to have a good home and live with people that care about them.
The law is meant to target breeding facilities that house animals in overcrowded and unsanitary conditions without adequate food, water, socialization, or veterinary care, according to a fact sheet for the legislation, AB 485. Kevin O'Neill, Vice President for State Affairs of the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, said in an interview that California could be the beginning of a trend. Other states like New Jersey, New York, and Washington State are looking into taking similar measures. O'Neill said, quote, "It did somewhat open up the possibility of moving it from a municipal effort to a statewide effort. I think you're going to start seeing more and more states doing it."
With California starting the trend, other states like Mississippi could follow their lead in the future. How could this impact rescue dogs like Sage or other local businesses?
Reynolds believes that if the law did make its way here, then it would change the types of dogs that they usually see.
I think we'd have a much wider variety of the breed of dogs that we have instead of just these full-bred dogs. I think it'd be fun, interesting.
I'm Ashley Fullerton for Take 30 News.
The new law took effect in California on January 1st.
Locals gathered at the intersection of MLK Drive and Douglas Conner for the annual Oktibbeha County NAACP March and Rally. They honored Martin Luther King Jr. by walking and singing down the streets of downtown Starkville. Following the march, prominent members of the NAACP spoke at an unveiling ceremony at Unity Park. Also at the program, attendees had the opportunity to nominate other Oktibbeha County residents for a 2020 Unity Park Honoree Award. An NAACP member said the annual March and Rally has been and will continue to be an important event for the NAACP and the local community.
Have gone on. They were very instrumental in getting it started, and this was for the holiday for Dr. King. We are trying to live to make it important in the community, and that's why Dr. King's dream got to roll on.
For more information on the NAACP, you can contact 662-323-1835. Organizations from Mississippi State chose to spend their Martin Luther King Jr. holiday serving others. Sponsored by the Maroon Volunteer Center, assigned volunteer sites included the Boys and Girls Club, the Salvation Army, and McKee Park. All service projects began around 10:30 a.m. and ended around 12:45 p.m. Organizations that participated included the Baptist Student Union, Black Student Association, and other fraternities and sororities. Site leader and Black Student Association member Takira Craig said that it is important for different organizations to serve and to continue bringing awareness to MLK Day.
We forget what this day about, then other people will forget what this day about. So with the organization stressing about how important community service is, his legacy will continue forever.
For more information on any of the service projects, you can contact the Maroon Volunteer Center at 662-325-2150. After this break, we'll tell you what's new to Netflix and why some people aren't happy about it. Stay with us.
Baby's arrival can be one of the most exciting times in a family's life.
I wonder if that got on air.
It can also be one of the most anxious, especially if the child's development is hindered by medical challenges that create more questions than answers. At Mississippi State University, we're groundbreakers in the study of CHARGE syndrome, a genetic condition that leads to a host of life-threatening birth defects. Our research teams are uncovering breakthroughs in treatment and prevention with a goal of greater understanding that leads to better care. We're also providing crucial support resources for parents and helping physicians around the globe gain awareness so symptoms can be detected and addressed earlier. By engaging in this innovative analysis and therapy, we're not only improving outcomes, we're unlocking brighter futures.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. The price you pay for the shows you love is about to go up.
In Take 30's Taylor Cleveland explains it could be part of a growing trend.
Netflix recently raised their prices for all plans. Because of so many subscribers, Netflix wants to push more original content, which means more money from subscribers. So, I spoke with Netflix subscriber Jay Stanley to see how he felt about this.
There's a lot of people subscribing to Netflix, so with so many people subscribing, you gotta make that business move. So also, I feel like maybe the content that they're about to drop, it might be worth it. So, I mean, maybe it's worth the extra $2.
Netflix's recent prices increased precisely between 13 and 18%. A basic plan went from $7.99 to $8.99. A standard plan went from $10.99 to $12.99, and a premium plan went from $13.99 to $15.99. Netflix? I reached out to Netflix's media relations team, but I didn't hear anything back. Luckily, I was able to speak with Dr. Pete Smith about the future of Netflix and cable.
For any kind of big shift to happen, right, from cable to streaming services, for that to happen in such a way that it really guts the industry, it's going to take a lot of things to happen, right? We're not at that point yet.
In the next few years, it is predicted that Netflix and other subscriptions will increase while cable company subscribers will decrease. For more information on Netflix's newest prices and plans, you can visit www.netflix.com.
From the Nigerian prince with cash to give away, the nameless grandson in jail who needs bail money, and the secret shopping gig requiring you to pay big bucks first, there are lots of scams in cyberspace. But just how many people fall for them, and are scammers more likely to catch an unsuspecting victim in the South? CenturyLink categorized internet scams by state and found Mississippians aren't great at spotting scammers, but the good news is we aren't that bad at it either. Alaska's sparse population didn't stop it from ranking the highest for number of victims per capita. South and North Dakota came in first and second, respectively, with the least victims per capita. Mississippi wasn't far behind the Dakotas, with about 6 victims per 10,000 people.
No matter the major, MSU students and teachers are all learning about a new computer program this semester. The 2019 spring semester marks the first semester that Mississippi State will be using its new learning system, Canvas, after making the switch from Blackboard. Many students are familiar with Canvas as it's commonly used in some high schools and in many junior colleges in Mississippi. The Duo mobile system provides students added protection from their information being seen by any unwanted visitors by requiring a confirmation from their phones before logging into a Canvas account on any given device.
He's been working toward this for a few years, and it really gets to the idea, from what I've been told, that Canvas is a better product. I like the basic layout of Canvas. It's a lot less cluttered. I think Canvas is ultimately more user-friendly.
With a new semester comes new dining options at Mississippi State. Over winter break, MSU Dining made a few changes to the Culvert Student Union. The State Fountain Bakery was moved and renovated, and a Mediterranean restaurant called Ulio was opened. The Pod Mobile was started at the end of last semester for students on the go. Andy Pichardo, the marketing manager for MSU Dining, said that these changes are a result of student needs.
Research this past year and past semester, and we really wanted to take student feedback and improve or kind of change our dining options on campus. We hope that these options provide everything that students are looking for, so healthy choices, they're in place where students need them, and also trendy options like at the State Fountain Bakery.
Students can give their feedback about their dining experience at MSU by going to yourdiningvoice.com.
At 12:10 p.m. last Friday, students across Mississippi State's campus received a text from the updated Maroon Alert system. They were asked to save the number in their phones as Maroon Alert so that they can better be informed in case of an emergency. Improvements to the system include faster delivery speeds, personalized weather notification, community messages, and more. There's also a Maroon Alert app that students are encouraged to download. More information about Maroon Alert can be found on www.emergency.msstate.edu.
After this break, we've got the latest weather report and ways to fight the cold this winter season. We'll be right back.
We all depend on accurate weather forecasts to plan our day. That's why Mississippi State University is teaching students to forecast the future using real-world news sets as classrooms, putting scientific discoveries in meteorology to the test, while honing on-air reporting skills real-time with local TV stations. And we do it so well that at any given moment across the country, 1 in 3 weather forecasts are being delivered by MSU-trained meteorologists who are helping people make crucial decisions that impact their safety, working to ensure business continuity, and in many cases, saving lives. Predicting the future? That's what we're preparing for every single day so that you can prepare for your day.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. Let's take a look at the weather for this week. The high for today is 46 degrees and it's expected to get down to 27 degrees tonight. This weekend looks like it's going to warm up and get into the 50s with only a small chance of rain, but get ready for it to drop back down into the high 30s and low 40s at the beginning of next week. This weather update is provided by the Mississippi State University Campus Connect. For updated weather forecasts, you can go and visit weather.mstate.edu. Colder weather means it's the season for sickness.
But just how bad is the flu this year? Take 30's Madison Pouliot tells us how to keep your family safe.
Flu season is in full swing, and local experts say it's nothing like last year's crisis. Local doctors say they haven't been nearly as busy as they were last winter. The 2017-2018 flu season was one of the worst in American history, with over 80,000 deaths. Local nurses say the Center for Disease Control have a better grasp on what strands are circulating this year. They say this makes them feel confident that the vaccine is way more effective than last flu season.
Yes, I went and got my flu shot this year. I also got it last year, but last year I got the flu. This year I haven't yet, so I think this year is probably more effective than it was last year.
You might have had to have worn one of these this year, and if you have, you aren't alone. I spoke to Dr. John Edwin over the phone, who runs a clinic much like this one out of South Haven, Mississippi, and he said that flu season may have slowed down a little bit, but 2 weeks ago, every single seat in his waiting room was full, and almost every single one of them had the flu.
Yes, I think people should go get their vaccinations, even though they don't 100% work. It's always a safe bet to go and get it.
The University Health Center encourages you to remember these tips for preventing the flu. Wash your hands often with soap and water. Avoid close contact. Toss your tissues in the trash. Cough or sneeze into a tissue. And maybe, most important of all, hibernate if you're sick.
Flu season officially goes from December to March, but experts still advise to practice those preventative flu tips all year round.
This past weekend blew in some chilly temperatures that have potential to harm your car. I went out to find some tips to help you and your car stay safe. Car problems can affect our daily lives, especially in the colder winter months. Chandler McGafferty, retail associate over at Advanced Auto Parts, has more information on how to keep your vehicle maintained during these extra cold winter months.
Your car has plenty of antifreeze, because with temperatures getting down, you don't want the water in your cooling system to freeze and cause a lot of damage to your motor if it does. Make sure you, if you get windshield washer fluid, get the cold temperature stuff. It helps melt the ice off your windows in the morning. That way, if you go to spray it on, it'll help melt it, as opposed to freezing over and crash. The temperatures change from either really hot to cold or cold to hot. Batteries do tend to be slower to start or potentially die depending on the age of them. So that's a thing to look out for. You could just need a jump start, or you might need a whole new battery if you're experiencing those problems.
For assistance, you can stop by your local auto store. Coming up, we'll tell you the latest about sports and what fans can expect to see at Dudy Noble Stadium this baseball season. Stick with us.
You know the scene in those popular TV crime shows when the investigators show up? The one where they scratch their heads while trying to figure out who committed the homicide and when? At Mississippi State University, we're solving mysteries behind real-life crime scenes with forensic research that's a first of its kind. Teaming with microbiologists from around the country, we're examining microscopic bacteria that can help solve real murders. So far, our partnership with a major metropolitan medical examiner is yielding results with more than 200 real-life crime samples analyzed. We're learning how microbiomes change and relocate, uncovering evidence in criminal investigations by better pinpointing time of death. Way more exciting than being a TV detective. We're finding crucial answers when they're needed most. Solving mysteries with science, that's worth watching.
Soon, the college baseball season will be in full swing, and Bulldog fans can expect some major changes next time they go to a game. Take 30's Cody West shows us what to expect on the home field.
For many years, fans of Mississippi State baseball have watched the Bulldogs play from Dudy Noble. Well, this year, with the stadium complete, fans will get to see the many expectations that come with that renovation. I sat down with Miss Leah Beasley, who told me more about the stadium project.
It's beautiful. It has, the fans get this view, this vantage point that they've never had before. 360 degrees around the stadium. They can see wherever they are, they'll be able to see the field. They'll be able to stay in touch with the game. So it's a lot more intimate than I think it's been in the past. They're closer with other fans.
The biggest being that now a fan can turn around from anywhere in the stadium, even if they're going to get food or drink. They can turn around and see the game being played before their very eyes.
It shows how historic and how legendary our program really is. So being able to be reminded of those things, and our fans will get to see those things as they walk in. There's going to be a Ring of Honor in the right field Ackerson Plaza. There's going to be Palmero and Clark in giant statues in the home plate entrance gate.
Fans can also expect the increase in seating capacity, allowing more Bulldogs to see the games than ever before at the new and improved Dudy Noble. And fans won't have to wait long to put that to the test, as the grand opening of the new Dudy Noble is on the 15th of February, the same day as they take on their first opponent of the 2019 baseball season, Youngstown State. They expect this to be a good day for baseball and, of course, their fans.
State's first home game of the season is set for February 15th. This project costs $55 million. President Donald Trump welcomed the Clemson football team to the White House Monday after the Tigers beat Alabama to win the 2018 College Football National Championship game. But with the government shutdown, the White House did not have the staff to prepare a feast for the team. So Trump and his staff ordered a mountain of fast food, including burgers, fries, pizza, and more to feed the players. The president says he paid a total of $5,500. A rivalry game is fast approaching. The MSU women's basketball team are scheduled to play against Ole Miss this coming Sunday, January 27th at the Humphrey Coliseum at 2 p.m. Ticket prices are $10 for adults and $5 for youth. The game will be televised on the SEC network. MSU fans can show their support for MSU by wearing black.
The dates for the second annual Mississippi State New Narrative Festival and Conference have been announced. The event will be March 22nd through the 23rd at the Mill, located at MSU. This event focuses on the changing narrative of Mississippi and of other southern states. It explores the way that we show, tell, and share stories, consisting of live speakers, live music, and special events including local food. Confirmed speakers are the son of the first missionaries in Japan after World War II, Ken Askew, Colombian author and Alabama native Charles McNair, and also a concert by songwriter and recording artist Steve Azar. For more information, you can find it at www.newnarrativefestival.mstate.edu. And this event was started by the MSU Department of Communication.
Now we're going to take a quick look at a live shot of the doghouse in the Colbert Student Union to see them setting up. They were there earlier setting up for Music Maker Productions. Music Maker Presents. Tomorrow they're going to have 4 bands playing in there, and so they encourage people to go and enjoy free music for this production. All right, that's all for tonight on Take 30 News. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Maggie Thomas.
And I'm Megan Terry. Have a great night.
We'll be back next week with more local news, so be sure to tune in with us.